Throughout NBA history, the very best ones define their legacies by sheer dominance. No matter which team they end up, the all-timers will always find ways to win multiple titles, forever cemented in basketball immortality. But the few ringless all-timers will forever be known never winning that illustrious championship. Their resumes will forever feel incomplete. But when a franchise don't do enough to surround their superstar with the right teammates, it's only right for the player to demand out, join a better team at the right moment to secure a shot at basketball glory. From clutch decisions to career-defining champions, these all-time greats, most of them on the top 75 anniversary team, ring chase properly at the absolute perfect time, elevating their legacies forever, leading to unbelievable all-time moments in the process. Starting with Moses Malone of the Philadelphia 76ers, the first superstar to truly ring chase at his very prime, the reigning MVP came off averaging 31 and 15, viewed the best player in the game, already led his Rockets to the finals just the season before, led Houston to 46 wins but a first round exit given financial issues and cheap ownership. Team matched Moses' offer sheet as a restricted free agent, rejected his initial deal, instead signed with the elite Philadelphia 76ers. Despite Houston matching the offer, Big Mo already knew where he wanted to go. His new team fresh off an NBA Finals, led by superstar Julius Erving, in one of the most lopsided trades all time, ripping off the Rockets in historic fashion. Prime Moses added another MVP to his collection, led Philly to 65 wins, 4 total All-Stars, won a historic 12-1 in the playoffs, took the franchise to the promised land in dominating fashion, swept the defending champion Lakers. The 3-time MVP 4-4-4 his way to the title, dominated Kareem and Magic, forever being the face of one of the greatest teams all time, grabbed 27 offensive rebounds, Kareem had just 30 total boards. Malone won that title at the exact perfect time before the dynasty Lakers and Celtics became too good for everybody else. His one championship puts him in the top 15-20 player conversation. Bill Walton was supposed to be the next Bill Russell, the greatest passing center before Jokic. Big Red had all-time great talent, led his Blazers to the title at just 24 years old, played the game like how it's supposed to played, but a magnitude of serious injuries, playing through a broken foot only to get worse, with numerous surgeries after. 169 total games in 6 seasons with the Clippers, Walton appeared to look like the saddest superstar career decline. Frustrated with his unavailability, the Hall of Famer took the blame upon himself as the reason why his hometown team forced to relocate, especially with despicable owner Donald Sterling. Walton tried his best, but his body continued to fail him, could have retired entirely. After the Clippers moved to Los Angeles for the 84-85 season, the then 32-year-old called up Red Auerbach, saw a chance to redeem himself. Of course, Donald Sterling made it difficult to trade him. The deal eventually got Drew in exchange for Cedric Maxwell. If it wasn't for the help of legendary Red, Walton might have never played another NBA game after 85. Knowing he can't pass any physical tests, Auerbach smokes his cigar in the hospital, tells the doctor to shut up, I'm in charge here, looks Walton in the eye, asks if he can play. Big Bill says, I think I can. That's all she wrote. Having a career resurgence, becoming the first MVP to win 6-man, being on one of the greatest teams all time, played 80 games, everything worked out to perfection in 86. Him and Larry Bird ran the give and go play as well as any duo. Pure basketball artistry at its finest. Nobody could stop Boston. The happiest time Walton ever had on the basketball court. His experience, leadership, size and passing made the 86 Celtics unbeatable. The joy and happiness he brought, pure class, Walton's greatness and resiliency earned him a spot in the top 75. Clyde Drexler, traded from the Blazers to the Rockets, 8-time All-Star with Portland at the tail end of his prime, led his team to 2 finals appearances, given his franchise went another direction as he's aging. In a time where Jordan has yet to announce his return, the 95 title literally up for grabs with 8 to 10 possible teams capable of winning it all. Houston's role players envy is about the decision, already being champions. Many did not want Drexler on the team, but Hakeem wanted him given they were teammates in college.
I had some injuries on my knee, and they kind of gave up a little bit too soon. And so they started rebuilding. They got rid of Kevin Duckworth, and I was like, hold up, guys. We don't have a center. And then they started saying, well, we need to rebuild. We need to trade some of these veterans while they can still play so we can get something for them. And that's when I orchestrated the trade to Houston.
Adjustments had to be made. Robert Horry had to play the 4 instead of the 3. Team still struggled after acquiring the 32-year-old. Went 17-18 with him to end the season. Given Hakeem's missed time with injuries, Houston did finish the season strong, but ended up the 6th seed, won just 47 games. That's when the most improbable title run happened. Still to this day, the most difficult championship path, from overcoming the 60-win Jazz round 1 to eliminating the 59-win Suns, then the 62-win Spurs. Team overcame all sorts of adversity and series deficits, swept Orlando in the finals, punctuated the most difficult path to a title by beating all the teams with the 4th best record. Clyde shined brightest in the pivotal games, had 41 and 31 points, Game 4 and 5 first round to stave off elimination. Dropped 29 Game 7 in Phoenix, his best game that series. Forever remembered as champion. Had Drexler remained in Portland throughout '95 and left to join a contender during the offseason, he likely would have never gotten over the hump, especially with Jordan's Bulls beginning their run, succeeding its second three-peat. Gary Payton of the Boston Celtics. The then 37-year-old didn't have much time left after failing to help the 04 Lakers. GP was going to be the next victim of one of the many 90s stars to never win a championship being denied by Jordan. But 10 years removed from his outstanding defensive efforts in the 96 finals, Payton brought to Miami as a mentor guy, very respected by his peers, comfortably came off the bench for the first time in his career, even orchestrated a team meeting given the slow start when Stan Van Gundy fired.
And Van Gundy got fired. We were having problems with who was our go-to guy. And Shaq at that time was not our go-to guy. I think this young kid, Flash, was a guy. He was doing a lot of things. And I just called a team meet and I just said, look, you guys, we got to learn how to play our role. I'm not the guy that I used to be. And Shaq wasn't really going for that. And I told him, look, if we're going to win this championship, you got to be like me. Our time is over. Don't worry about it. Let's win this championship. And he agreed with me. And we started running things through G-Wade. And look what happened. All of a sudden, we made a run and we beat Dallas.
Payton told Shaq to his face he was no longer in his prime and young Flash had to be the go-to guy. If it wasn't for GP's leadership, O'Neal's ego might have kept him ringless post-Kobe. Payton proceeded to ball out, netted 14 big points, Game 1 win against the Pistons Conference Finals, a team that Shaq and Wade couldn't get past the year before, hit the go-ahead winning basket, erasing a 13-point fourth quarter deficit, comeback win Game 3 over Dallas, one of the most underrated shots in finals history. Given the Mavs already up 2-0, pretty much had the series in the bag. Payton, another clutch moment, late overtime Game 5, gave the Heat a 1-point lead. His locker room presence and on-court greatness paid off big time, joining the right team at the right time, enduring 16 years before earning the Larry O. Payton forever remembered as a Heat legend. Kevin Garnett of the Minnesota Timberwolves, a dysfunctional franchise forced to forfeit multiple first-round picks after the Joe Smith scandal, alongside lousy owner Glenn Taylor, KG having immense patience and loyalty, can only bear so much, realizing he's already spent a dozen years in the Twin City, being 31 years old and only gotten out the first round once. An improbable 7-for-1 trade, biggest in NBA history at the time. KG initially refused to play for Boston, but changed his mind after Ray Allen traded there. With the help of GM Kevin McHale, the former Celtics legend was determined to land his franchise superstar to the most illustrious team the league has ever seen. Getting traded to Beantown, the very best thing to happen for Garnett's career. Looking back, his only regret, not going to Boston sooner. It only took Minnesota 20 years to win a playoff series after KG's lone conference finals appearance. The identity of Celtics culture changed overnight. 20 plus years since the franchise won their 86th title, Garnett easily won Defensive Player of the Year, an MVP candidate, Although Paul Pierce won that Finals MVP, KG easily the team's best player. Everybody sacrificed. Garnett's decision, forming a big three, arguably responsible for creating the first modern super team of the 21st century. Boston's supposed to be a dynasty. Looked even better the following season, started a ridiculous 27-2, but a knee injury forced the then 32-year-old to cut his season short, ruining a chance of a repeat, while the 2010 squad went the distance, falling to Kobe's Lakers in 7. Garnett's production then took a dip after the injury, but just like Drexler, had KG waited another year to make his trade demand and gotten injured the first year of his new team, perhaps he would have never won that illustrious title. LeBron James, having all the regular season accolades and numbers, led his inferior supporting cast to back-to-back 60-plus win seasons as the number 1 seed. Once the playoffs came around, everything became clear his Cavs were overmatched. Inferior to the likes of Orlando and Boston, especially during a time where the big three of Garnett, Pierce, and Allen were deemed to make a few more title runs unless the very best player in the East did something about it. Then came July 8, 2010, in a powerful television exclusive. The 25-year-old left everybody guessing, the most anticipated decision the league's ever seen. From the final buzzer, Game 6 loss to Boston, the most anticipated free agent all time was gonna have the craziest summer. Before the rise of social media and Twitter, the narrative was if James wanted to win, he'd go to Chicago. If he wanted to be loyal, stay in Cleveland. Trying to be immortal, go to New York. Chris Bosh already took his talents to Miami a few days before. James decided to reveal his answer, creating the most hostile NBA summer all time. Many thought LeBron would take his talents to the Bulls. After breaking the hearts of every Cleveland fan, the insurmountable hate most extreme any player had to endure. His not 1, not 2, not 3, not 6, not 7 speech made him even more disliked. But in reality, James's 7 seasons in Cleveland never played with anyone remotely close to the talents of Dwayne Wade or even Chris Bosh. The franchise struck out trying to land Amari Stoudemire, Carlos Boozer, and Bosh. LeBron stated clearly his only goal was to win titles in South Beach. Everyone humiliated him for 2011, but James reached his absolute basketball apex both 2012 and 2013, still had to overcome the lethal 2012 Celtics, displayed arguably the greatest game of his career, Game 6 conference finals, set the tone for how he performed in many future crucial games, gave him the ultimate confidence, proceeded to win 2 titles in 4 seasons before rejoining the Cavs, handling some unfinished business. Had LeBron remained in Cleveland those years, he would have had better numbers between 2011 to 2014, but it's not guaranteed. James would have even won 1 title that span, given how badly the franchise failed him. LeBron later became a master, having other stars join him in pursuits for his title in Cleveland and Los Angeles. James gained back most of his respect over time. Ray Allen. After falling to rival Miami in 2012, everybody already saw the writing on the wall. The big three of James, Wade, and Bosh were going to be unbeatable in the East. After that LeBron Game 6 performance, Jesus Shuttlesworth saw the future, signed with the team that eliminated him 2 years in a row, just 9 days before his 37th birthday. Former teammate Garnett took it as a sign of betrayal, tarnishing their friendship for a full decade before just recently squashing their beef. Allen simply wanted to go to a younger championship team and already beefing with Rondo. Danny Ainge wanting to trade Ray numerous times to no avail. Feeling disrespected, Allen got tired of his situation, knew he still had some game left, and who's better to complement his skill set than LeBron James himself? Already having played 16 seasons, Ray put himself in the best position possible in a low-pressure environment, no problem coming off the bench, most responsible for hitting the most clutch 3 in NBA history, all the thousands of hours practicing in the gym, all for Game 6 2013, one miss or hesitation, San Antonio was going to be champions. Given some of the most clutch shots in NBA history, even if Jordan missed against Utah, there could have been a Game 7. Kyrie's jumper 2016 happened with 50 seconds left. But this Ray Allen shot literally miss and go home and get humiliated forever? No shot in NBA history could have gotten more clutch than that. The Ray Allen tying 3 arguably solidified his status being a top 75 player. Kevin Durant, from OKC to Golden State, still trying to enhance his legacy. Many will never forgive him joining a 73-win team that sent him home while choking a 3-1 lead. Had Durant never teamed up with Dub Nation, there's a good chance he'd be known as the best player who didn't win a ring. Now at 36 years old, a confusing legacy. At the very least, he'll be remembered as a 2-time champ, won those 2 finals MVPs, always better viewed than being ringless. KD absolutely balled out those 2 finals, was on his way winning a 3rd title before his injury, proving that him and Russ were never gonna win together, too reliant on iso ball. Had Durant took his talents elsewhere like Washington, likely a mistake since John Wall's body gave out back in 2018. Anywhere out east would have been super difficult, having to deal with LeBron's Cavs. Winning multiple finals MVPs in your prime on a stacked team will always sound better than winning a title riding the bench in your final season when partially washed. Anthony Davis from New Orleans to the Lakers. After signing with Clutch, the Pels knew it was all over. Had Dell Demps cooperated with Pelinka, AD would have been a Laker by deadline 2019. Given New Orleans' insane trade demands, LA had to give up lots of quality players and still easily won the trade, given the dysfunctional Pelicans franchise still hasn't won a playoff series since. The then 26-year-old Davis absolutely dominated, fit in perfectly playing with LeBron, who's still proven to be the best player throughout 2020. On-point chemistry, Davis became one of the greatest second options. Some nights looked like 1A or 1B. Dominated en route to his first title, averaged 28 and 10 in the bubble, hit an insane game-winning 3 on Denver, set the tone early in the finals. If 2020 was to be AD's only title for purple and gold or for the rest of his career, ask him now, ask him in 10 years or even 20 years from now if AD had any regrets leaving New Orleans for LA, the answer 100% absolutely positively no. Had Davis left a year later, given all the injuries he suffered 2021 and 22, his title chances might have already been doomed. Dwight Howard unintentionally ring chased from bottom of the barrel free agent to impactful role player, doing all the things he's done well throughout his career, catch lobs, rebound, block shots, and annoy the hell out of the other team's best players. Still to this day, Dwight's played the best defense on Jokic in the bubble run, rejuvenated his image from viewed a massive failure to NBA champion, extending his career several more years after being considered the biggest joke in the NBA, something 2024 Ben Simmons currently facing. Howard learned an important lesson, finally humbled himself after being on his 2.5 strikes. Dwight proves it's never too late to redeem yourself. Honorable mentions include Alonzo Mourning refusing to play for New Jersey, went back to Miami, played a key role for the 06 title team. Spurs center David Robinson only played with San Antonio, but after being banged up throughout the 97 season, San Antonio had him sit out after playing 6 games in order to tank perfectly for future number 1 pick Tim Duncan, a genius way to ring chase while being on your own team. Other good players, PJ Brown, David West, Kevin Willis, Mitt Richmond, Shane Battier, Mike Miller, and Juwan Howard, towards the end of their careers, joined the right teams, forever remembered as champions.